Liam had always loved the ocean, even though he had never lived near it. Growing up in a busy city, he only saw the sea in books, pictures, and the occasional aquarium visit. As a marine biologist, he now worked at the city aquarium, studying sea creatures and learning their habits. But what he enjoyed most was the quiet of the night tours. During the day, the aquarium was loud, full of children laughing and families pointing at fish. At night, however, it was different. The water glowed softly, and the gentle movements of jellyfish, turtles, and small sharks seemed almost magical. On this particular night, Liam walked along the dimly lit corridor leading to the larger tanks. He was carrying a small notebook, filled with observations and sketches of marine life. He liked to compare behavior notes and sometimes even drew small sketches himself. But tonight, he was distracted. As he passed the coral reef exhibit, a soft movement by the tanks caught his attention. There, kneeling by a large tank filled with colorful fish, was a young woman. She had dark hair tied loosely at the back of her head and wore a simple sweater and jeans. In her hands, she held a sketchbook, pencil moving quickly across the pages. Liam paused, not wanting to disturb her. Something about the way she concentrated, the careful way she captured the fish on paper, made him stop in his tracks. Their eyes met briefly when she looked up, startled. "Oh, I didn't see you there," she said, her voice soft but steady. I didn't mean to startle you," Liam replied, smiling. "I just wasn't expecting anyone here at this hour." She returned the smile. "I like to come at night. It's quieter, and I can really see the colors of the fish. I'm Mia, by the way." "Liam," he said, shaking her hand. "I work here. I'm a marine biologist." Mia's eyes widened slightly. "Really? That's amazing. I love drawing the sea creatures. I don't know much about them, but I try to capture them the best I can." Liam nodded. "I think that's the perfect combination, science and art. You see things that I sometimes miss because I'm focused on facts and notes." He gestured to her sketchbook. "May I see?" She hesitated for a moment but then opened the book, showing him pages filled with detailed, lively sketches. Fish with flowing fins, tiny crabs scuttling along the coral, even the shy octopus hiding in the rocks. Liam was impressed. "These are really good," he said. "You have a great eye for detail. Some of these behaviors I've only noticed recently in my studies, and you've captured them perfectly." Mia blushed slightly. "Thank you. I just like to watch. Sometimes it feels like the fish are telling a story, and I try to put it on paper." Liam smiled, feeling a strange warmth. It wasn't just admiration for her talent, it was curiosity, a desire to know more about her. "Would you like to walk with me through the larger tanks? I can show you some of the rarer species. It's quieter tonight, so we can take our time." Mia's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I'd love that." As they walked side by side, Liam pointed out the glowing jellyfish and explained their delicate movements. Mia listened carefully, occasionally sketching the creatures. They talked about their favorite sea animals, shared small stories about childhood experiences with water, and even laughed when a small fish swam too close to the glass, as if curious about them. For Liam, time seemed to slow. He was used to studying fish and patterns, but tonight, he noticed patterns in the way Mia moved, the way she laughed, the way her eyes lit up when she discovered something new. There was a calm energy about her, a quiet passion that drew him in. By the time they reached the large turtle tank, a soft silence had settled between them. The turtles floated gracefully, their slow movements reflecting the light in the water. Liam noticed that Mia was staring at them, a small smile on her face. He felt an urge to say something, to break the quiet, but the words didn't come. Instead, he simply walked beside her, sharing the moment in silence. When it was finally time to leave, Liam realized he hadn't once looked at his notebook or checked the time. I'm glad I met you tonight, he said honestly. Mia smiled softly. Me too, Liam. It's nice to meet someone who understands the sea like you do. As Liam walked home under the city lights, he thought about the sketches, the turtles, and the soft, gentle presence of Mia. Something had shifted inside him. He didn't know if it was curiosity, admiration, or something deeper. But he knew one thing for certain, he wanted to see her again. And he knew the Midnight Aquarium, with its glowing tanks and quiet magic, had become something more than a place for study. It had become the beginning of something extraordinary. After that first encounter, Liam couldn't stop thinking about Mia. Every time he walked past the coral reef exhibit, he hoped she would be there, sketching quietly in the soft glow of the tanks. It wasn't just her talent that intrigued him, it was the calm focus she carried, the gentle way she seemed to belong to the night as much as the creatures around her. A week later, Liam arrived at the aquarium an hour before the midnight tour. He brought his notebook and a small flashlight, pretending to be busy with work. Then he saw her, Mia, sitting cross-legged on a bench near the giant jellyfish tank, pencil in hand, sketching with careful strokes. Her dark hair fell softly over her face, and the glow from the tank made her look almost magical. "Hi, Mia," Liam said, trying to sound casual. She looked up, surprised but smiling. "Oh, hi, Liam. I didn't expect to see you here so early. I thought I'd get some work done before the tour. Mind if I join you?" He gestured to the empty space beside her. "Not at all," she said, scooting slightly to make room. For a few minutes, they worked quietly. Liam jotted down observations about a pair of sea orzes, while Mia sketched the intricate patterns of coral. Every now and then, their hands brushed, sending a small shiver through both of them. The silence was comfortable, almost like they had known each other much longer than a few brief encounters. "I like your sketches," Liam said finally, breaking the quiet. "You see things differently. I notice patterns in behavior, but you notice the little details, colors, textures, tiny movements. It's amazing." Mia blushed and looked down at her pencil. "Thank you. I just love to watch. Sometimes it feels like the fish are telling stories, and I try to capture them. I've never met anyone who notices these things before." Liam smiled. "Most people just glance at the tanks and move on. But you really see them. I like that." They started talking more, and soon, the conversation flowed easily. Liam explained why certain fish swam in pairs, how jellyfish moved with the current, and why sea orzes often hid among the coral. Mia listened carefully, her eyes wide with fascination, and occasionally asked questions that made Liam think in new ways. "You make science sound magical," Mia said softly, her voice full of wonder. "Maybe because the ocean itself is magical," Liam replied, his eyes reflecting the gentle glow of the tank. "And maybe because I'm talking to someone who truly understands it." Mia's cheeks turned slightly pink. "I feel the same," she admitted. As the night went on, Liam suggested a small walk to the Moonlight Tunnel, a long glass passage where the fish and rays swam above and around visitors. Mia's eyes lit up when she saw the shimmering rays gliding over them. She sketched quickly, trying to capture their graceful movements. Liam watched her, fascinated by the way her pencil seemed to dance across the page, just like the rays danced above them. "Do you ever get nervous being so close to them?" Liam asked, pointing to a large stingray gliding overhead. Mia shook her head. "Not really. It's peaceful. I feel connected somehow. Like I belong here." "I know what you mean," Liam said. "Even after working here for years, the quiet nights still feel special. You notice things I often forget to see. You make me appreciate it all over again." For a moment, they walked in silence, both lost in thought. The water reflected gentle shadows on their faces, and the soft sound of moving water filled the tunnel. Liam noticed how small gestures Mia tucking her hair behind her ear, the way she leaned slightly forward while sketching made his heart beat faster. When they reached the end of the tunnel, Liam suggested sitting by the large turtle tank. The turtles floated lazily, their shells catching the light, moving slowly but with purpose. Mia sat cross-legged again, sketching one of the turtles, while Liam jotted notes on a new species he had observed earlier that week. "You know," Liam said quietly, "I didn't realize how much I needed this. Talking to someone who understands, seeing the ocean through your eyes, it makes the nights here feel different." Mia looked up from her sketchbook, her eyes meeting his. "I feel the same, Liam. It's like, we see the same magic, even if in different ways." The moment hung between them, soft and full of possibility. Neither of them spoke, but both felt the unspoken connection growing stronger. Liam realized that this was more than shared interest in the ocean, it was the start of something meaningful, something neither had expected but both wanted to explore. As the clock neared the end of the midnight tour, Liam and Mia stood up together. "I hope we can do this again," Liam said, his voice hopeful. Mia smiled, a spark in her eyes. "I'd like that." Walking out into the cool night air, Liam felt a warmth inside that had nothing to do with the city lights. The midnight aquarium had given him more than a chance to study the sea, it had given him a glimpse of something extraordinary, something that might grow into a connection far deeper than either of them had imagined. And for the first time in a long time, Liam felt that the ocean wasn't the only thing worth exploring. It was a Friday evening when Liam finally gathered the courage to invite Mia on a private behind-the-scenes tour of the aquarium. He had planned it carefully, making sure the staff knew it was only for them. He wanted the night to be special, quiet, and full of surprises. When he arrived, Mia was already waiting near the coral reef exhibit, sketchbook in hand, looking as calm and focused as ever. "Hi, Liam," she said with a smile, her eyes lighting up. "You said there was something special tonight." "There is," Liam replied, his heart beating a little faster than usual. "I thought you might like to see what happens behind the scenes. Not many people get the chance." Mia's eyes widened in excitement. "Really? That sounds amazing." They walked through the staff entrance, and Liam explained how they would see the tanks where the animals were cared for before going on display. Mia listened with fascination, occasionally asking questions, her pencil poised as if she might want to capture everything on paper. Liam admired her curiosity, it reminded him of why he had fallen in love with the sea in the first place. Their first stop was the feeding room. Small fish swam energetically around a shallow tank, and Liam handed Mia a small tray of fish food. Hesitant at first, she sprinkled it carefully, watching the tiny fish dart toward the food. Liam laughed softly at her delighted expression. "You're really good at this," he said. Mia blushed slightly. "It's fun." I never thought feeding fish could feel exciting. From there, Liam led her to a larger tank housing a family of sea turtles. He explained their diets, habits, and even some funny quirks of individual turtles. Mia listened carefully, sketching quickly as the turtles glided gracefully through the water. "They're beautiful," she whispered, her pencil moving across the page to capture the movement of the largest turtle. "They are," Liam agreed softly. "And you capture them perfectly. I don't think anyone sees them the way you do." As they moved to the jellyfish tanks, the lights were dimmed slightly, making the creatures glow softly. Mia's eyes reflected the gentle light, and Liam couldn't help but notice how peaceful she looked. The slow, floating movements of the jellyfish mesmerized them both. "This feels magical," Mia said quietly, almost to herself. "Yes," Liam replied, his voice low. "It's different at night. Everything feels calm and almost alive in a new way." They spent some time watching the jellyfish, sharing stories of their first experiences with the ocean, and laughing at small mistakes they had made during earlier visits. Liam found himself leaning slightly toward her, aware of her presence more than ever before. When Mia reached out to adjust her sketchbook, their hands brushed. Both paused, a small shiver passing through them, and for a moment, neither said a word. Finally, Liam led her to the main viewing gallery, where a massive tank held a mix of rays, small sharks, and brightly colored fish. He explained the behaviors of different species, pointing out patterns Mia hadn't noticed before. She listened intently, occasionally asking questions that made Liam smile. "You really pay attention," she said softly. "I never knew there was so much to see." "That's why I love showing this to someone who understands," Liam replied. "Most people just look and move on, but you see everything." The night grew quieter as the staff finished their rounds and left the aquarium empty. The only sounds were the gentle hum of water filters and the occasional splash from a fish or turtle. Liam and Mia walked slowly along the tank, enjoying the calm together. When they reached a corner with a small bench, Liam suggested sitting. They watched the rays glide effortlessly overhead, their graceful movements mirrored in Mia's sketchbook. Liam noticed the way her eyes followed every ripple, every shadow, and he felt a warmth in his chest that was impossible to ignore. "I'm glad we did this," Mia said softly, not looking at him but at the water. "Me too," Liam said. I I wanted to share this with you because, well, you make everything feel more special." Mia finally looked at him, her eyes wide and soft. "I feel the same. I never thought someone could make the ocean feel even more magical." The two of them sat in silence for a few minutes, letting the quiet of the aquarium wrap around them. It was a different kind of connection, one that didn't need words. Liam realized that it wasn't just the animals or the quiet nights that made this moment special, it was sharing it with Mia. As they stood to leave, Liam walked her to the exit, careful not to let the night end too quickly. "Thank you for coming tonight," he said, smiling. Mia returned the smile, a soft warmth in her expression. "Thank you for inviting me. I had the best time." As they stepped out into the cool night air, Liam knew that this was the start of something new. The aquarium had always been a place of discovery, but tonight it had shown him something even more extraordinary: how two people, drawn together by curiosity and wonder, could begin to see the world in the same magical way. And for Mia, the quiet night, the glowing tanks, and the gentle guidance of Liam had left a feeling she couldn't quite describe, one that hinted at the start of something beautiful. After their private tour, Liam and Mia began meeting more often at the aquarium during the late night hours. Each time, Their conversations grew longer, and their bond deeper. It wasn't just about the fish or the coral anymore, it was about sharing pieces of themselves they hadn't shared with anyone else. One night, they settled near the moonlight tunnel, the long glass corridor where rays and small sharks glided gracefully above. The water shimmered softly, casting rippling shadows over the walls. Mia was sketching a small ray, her pencil moving quickly yet carefully. Liam watched her for a moment, noticing the way her eyes followed every movement in the water. "You know," Liam said softly, "I've always loved studying the ocean, but I never realized how much I could feel it until now. Watching it with you, it feels different." Mia looked up, her eyes bright. "I know what you mean. I've drawn a lot of fish and coral before, but somehow, tonight feels more special. Like it's not just the ocean I'm seeing, but everything around it." For a while, they were silent, each lost in their thoughts, until Mia spoke again. "I didn't tell you before, but drawing the ocean, it reminds me of my father. He was a sailor, and I spent a lot of my childhood near the sea. I guess I draw because it helps me feel close to him." Liam nodded, listening carefully. "That's beautiful, Mia. I think it's amazing that you can turn your feelings into something that others can see. Your sketches, they tell a story." Mia smiled softly. "And you make the ocean come alive for me in a different way. You see patterns, habits, behaviors, things I would have missed. You make me notice details I didn't know existed." They continued walking along the tunnel, stopping to watch the graceful movements of the rays. Liam shared stories of his childhood fascination with the sea, how he spent hours reading about fish, coral reefs, and distant oceans he had never seen. Mia listened, fascinated, and occasionally shared her own memories of visiting docks, watching ships sail away, and listening to the waves at night. "You really understand why I love this place," Mia said softly. "Most people just see fish swimming. But you see life, patterns, everything. And somehow, it makes me feel like I belong here too." "You do belong here," Liam said without hesitation. "And I'm glad you're here, Mia. More than I realized." Mia's cheeks flushed slightly, and she looked down at her sketchbook. "I'm glad I met you too, Liam. I never thought someone could understand me this way." The quiet of the aquarium wrapped around them. The hum of the water filters, the gentle splash of the fish, and the soft glow of the tanks created a sense of peace neither had experienced before. Liam noticed how natural it felt to be near her, to share thoughts and feelings without fear or hesitation. It was as if the aquarium had created a world of their own, a safe place for connection and discovery. As they reached the coral reef exhibit again, Liam pointed out a small seahorse hiding among the coral. Mia sketched it carefully, and Liam watched her work, fascinated by the intensity and focus in her eyes. "You know," he said quietly, "sometimes I think we notice things because we want to see them. But other times, it's because someone else shows us how to look." Mia looked up, meeting his gaze. For a moment, neither spoke. The air between them was filled with unspoken understanding and a growing warmth. Liam realized that it wasn't just the ocean that drew them together, it was the way they shared their curiosity, their dreams, and their quiet moments. "I feel that with you," Mia whispered. "You make me see things, not just in the ocean, but in myself too." Liam smiled softly, his heart lifting. "I feel the same. I didn't realize how much I needed someone like you to share this with. Someone who understands, someone who cares." Mia's eyes shone in the dim light of the tanks, reflecting the soft glow of the coral. "I care," Liam, she said simply. They sat together for a while, watching the small movements of the fish and the gentle sway of the coral. The night felt endless, filled with quiet magic and the kind of connection that could not be rushed. Liam realized that this moment, this feeling, was rare, a shared understanding that went beyond words, beyond sketches or observations. Finally, as the hour grew late, they walked toward the exit, side by side. Liam held the door open for Mia, and she paused, looking back at the glowing tanks one last time. "Thank you for tonight," she said softly. "For everything." Liam smiled, feeling a warmth that had nothing to do with the night air. "No, thank you. For being here, for sharing it all with me. I can't wait for the next time." As they stepped outside into the quiet city streets, both Liam and Mia felt something new blossoming between them, a connection built on curiosity, shared passions, and the gentle magic of the midnight aquarium. For Liam, the ocean had always been a place of wonder, but now it was also a place of discovery about the human heart. And for Mia, the aquarium had become more than a place to sketch, it had become the start of something extraordinary. The aquarium had become a special place for Liam and Mia, but one evening, a small challenge tested the quiet harmony they had built. A new volunteer, Alex, had joined the late-night team. Friendly, outgoing, and energetic, Alex seemed genuinely interested in Mia's sketches. He often stopped by to comment on her work or ask questions about her favorite sea creatures. At first, Liam didn't think much of it. He trusted Mia and knew that his feelings for her were still growing. But when he noticed Alex leaning a little too close while complimenting her drawings, an unfamiliar feeling rose in his chest: jealousy. Mia, on her part, noticed the change in Liam's mood. He was quieter than usual, more distracted, and occasionally sharp in his comments. She felt a pang of worry. Liam had always been calm and gentle, and she didn't want a misunderstanding to grow between them. One evening, Liam arrived early, hoping to spend a quiet night with Mia at the Moonlight Tunnel. To his surprise, he found Alex there already, talking and laughing with her. They were both smiling, and Mia was showing him a sketch she had just finished. Liam stopped in the shadows, feeling a knot tighten in his stomach. He watched for a moment, then cleared his throat. "Hey, Mia." Mia turned quickly, a little startled. "Oh, hi, Liam. I didn't hear you come in." "Hi," Liam said, keeping his voice calm. He looked at Alex, who smiled politely. "I didn't know you two were working together tonight." Alex nodded. "Yeah, we were just talking about some of her sketches. They're really amazing, Liam. You've got talent here." Liam forced a smile, though he could feel his heart beating faster. "I know. Mia does incredible work." Alex excused himself to check on another tank, leaving Liam and Mia alone. For a moment, neither spoke. The quiet of the tunnel seemed heavier than usual, filled with shadows and soft water movements. "Liam, are you okay?" Mia asked softly, sensing his tension. I guess I just didn't expect to see Alex here," Liam admitted. "I know he's a volunteer, and I trust you, but I don't know. I guess I feel nervous." Mia reached out, lightly touching his arm. "Liam, I like you. You don't need to worry about me. I enjoy working with him, but that's all it is. You're the one I want to be with here, the one I feel connected to." Hearing her words, Liam felt a weight lift from his chest. The nervousness and jealousy he had felt slowly began to fade, replaced by warmth and relief. I'm sorry," he said quietly. I didn't mean to feel that way. It's just. I care about you a lot, Mia, more than I realized. And seeing someone else, talking to you, it made me realize how important you are to me. Mia smiled softly, her eyes reflecting the glow of the nearby tanks. I care about you too, Liam. We just need to trust each other, that's all. They walked together along the moonlight tunnel, the water casting gentle shadows around them. Liam felt a renewed sense of closeness as they watched the rays glide overhead. The ocean had always been full of surprises, but this moment reminded him that emotions could be just as unpredictable as the creatures he studied. You know, Liam said, breaking the comfortable silence, I think the ocean teaches us more than science. It teaches patience, trust, and sometimes courage. I needed a reminder of that tonight. Mia laughed softly. And you got it? We're learning together, Liam. They spent the rest of the night sketching and observing quietly. Liam noticed the little things about Mia, the way her eyes lit up when she discovered a new pattern in the coral, the careful way she held her pencil, and the soft way she talked about her memories of the sea. He realized that his feelings weren't just admiration, they were something deeper, something that made him want to be near her always. Before leaving, they paused near the large turtle tank. A pair of turtles swam slowly in circles, their shells catching the dim light. Liam and Mia stood side by side, watching them, enjoying the peaceful moment. I'm glad we talked, Liam said softly, glancing at Mia. It's better to face these things instead of letting them grow into doubts. Mia smiled, squeezing his hand gently. Exactly. Trust is what makes this special. As they walked out of the aquarium into the quiet night, Liam felt a renewed sense of connection. The small challenge had reminded him that feelings could be complicated, but honesty and trust made them stronger. And Mia, with her gentle smile and quiet understanding, had shown him that some bonds were worth protecting, no matter what. The Midnight Aquarium remained a place of magic, wonder, and discovery. And now, it was also a place where Liam and Mia's connection grew stronger, a bond built on curiosity, shared passion, and trust. It was another quiet night at the aquarium, and Liam had arranged something special. He had checked with the staff, ensuring that the tanks would be dimly lit and that the halls would be almost empty. The soft glow of the water would reflect on the walls, creating a serene, magical atmosphere. Liam wanted this night to be memorable, not only for the creatures they loved but also for the connection growing between him and Mia. When Mia arrived, her eyes widened at the soft lighting. It's beautiful tonight, she whispered, holding her sketchbook close. The glow from the tanks made the water shimmer, and the creatures moved as if dancing in slow motion. I thought you might like it, Liam said, smiling. Tonight is just for us. We can explore, sketch, and watch the animals without any interruptions. Mia's smile was soft, almost shy, but her eyes sparkled. I love it. Thank you for thinking of me. They walked slowly through the halls, stopping at each tank to observe the creatures. Liam pointed out rare fish and shared details Mia hadn't known before. She listened carefully, sketching and asking questions, her focus full of excitement and curiosity. Liam noticed how her eyes lit up when she discovered something new, how her hands moved gracefully over the paper, and how her presence made the entire night feel lighter and warmer. Eventually, they reached the giant tank in the center of the aquarium. Rays and small sharks glided effortlessly, their movements graceful and hypnotic. Liam leaned slightly against the railing, watching Mia sketch. He felt a nervous energy inside him, a mixture of excitement and anticipation. He had wanted to share something for weeks, and tonight seemed perfect. Suddenly, a small alarm sounded, indicating a minor issue in one of the tanks. The lights flickered briefly, and the water glowed even more mysteriously in the dimmed hall. Liam quickly checked the situation, guiding Mia to help him calm the creatures. Together, they adjusted equipment and observed the water, making sure everything was safe. Mia worked carefully, following Liam's instructions, her hand brushing his occasionally. Each touch sent a small thrill through both of them, a gentle reminder of the connection growing between them. The mishap was minor, but the shared responsibility created a bonded trust that went beyond words. When everything returned to normal, they stepped back to admire the glowing tanks. Liam noticed how the water reflected their faces, how the soft light framed Mia's features. He felt his heart beat faster. It was now or never. "Mia," he said softly, stepping closer. She looked up, her eyes meeting his, wide and attentive. I want to tell you something. I've been holding it in, but I can't anymore. I really care about you. More than just as a friend." Mia's lips parted slightly, her pencil forgotten on the sketchbook. "Liam. I feel the same way," she whispered. "I didn't know if you felt it too." The air around them seemed to pause. For a moment, it was just the two of them, the glowing water, and the quiet hum of the aquarium. Liam reached out gently, taking Mia's hand in his. Her fingers curled around his, warm and steady. "I think I've been waiting for this moment without realizing it," Liam said, his voice low but sincere. "Being with you here, sharing this, it's more than I ever imagined." Mia smiled softly, a small blush coloring her cheeks. "I feel the same, Liam. It's like everything finally makes sense." Slowly, almost hesitantly, Liam leaned forward. Mia met him halfway. Their first kiss was gentle, soft, and full of the quiet magic of the night. Around them, the fish and rays continued their graceful movements, unaware of the human connection forming just steps away. The glow of the tanks reflected in their eyes, and for Liam and Mia, the world outside the aquarium disappeared. When they finally pulled back slightly, both were smiling, hearts still racing. "That was perfect," Mia whispered. Liam nodded, squeezing her hand gently. "It was. I've never felt anything like this before. And I want to keep feeling it, with you." They spent the rest of the night together, walking slowly through the glowing halls, occasionally stopping to sketch, laugh, or simply watch the animals. The minor mishap earlier had become a shared memory, something to look back on with warmth and a smile. As the clock approached closing time, Liam walked Mia to the exit. Outside, the cool night air was refreshing, but neither wanted to leave the warmth of their shared moment. "Thank you for tonight," Mia said softly, squeezing his hand. "No," Liam replied, smiling. "Thank you for sharing it with me. I think this is just the beginning." For both of them, the Midnight Aquarium had become more than a place of study or art. It was a place of magic, trust, and the first spark of a love that promised to grow stronger with every shared night, every quiet observation, and every moment spent together. After that magical night, Liam and Mia's connection grew stronger with each visit to the aquarium. Their shared passion for the sea had blossomed into something more profound: love. Now, every time they met at the glowing tanks during late hours, it wasn't just curiosity or observation that brought them together, it was a desire to share moments, laughter, and dreams. One evening, Liam had an idea. He wanted to create something that combined their talents, a project that would celebrate both the science he studied and the art Mia created. He called Mia excitedly. "I have a surprise for you tonight," he said, trying to hide his own anticipation. Mia arrived at the aquarium, sketchbook in hand, and found Liam waiting near the large central tank. "What's the surprise?" she asked, curiosity sparkling in her eyes. "You'll see," Liam replied, smiling. He led her behind the scenes, to a quiet hall where the aquarium kept some of its research displays. "I thought, maybe we could create an exhibit together," he said. "Your sketches and my research showing people the ocean through both art and science." Mia's eyes widened. "Liam, that sounds amazing. I've always wanted to do something like that. It would be perfect." For the next few weeks, they worked closely together, combining sketches and scientific notes to create a small, captivating exhibit. Liam explained the behaviors and habits of different creatures, while Mia illustrated them in her signature style, capturing every detail and movement. Visitors could now see not just the animals, but their personalities, their habits, and the hidden beauty that often went unnoticed. As they worked, their love continued to grow. Liam noticed the small ways Mia cared for him, the gentle brush of her hand when they laughed, the soft smiles she gave when he explained something, the way she listened with full attention. Mia, in turn, admired Liam's dedication, patience, and quiet strength. Together, they felt balanced, connected, and inspired. One night, after finishing the final display, they sat near the central tank, exhausted but happy. The water glowed softly, casting shimmering reflections over their faces. Liam reached out, taking Mia's hand gently. "I can't believe how far we've come," he said, his voice quiet but filled with emotion. "From meeting by chance to this, creating something together. I'm grateful for every moment with you." Mia squeezed his hand, her smile warm. "I feel the same, Liam. This place, the ocean, and you've changed everything for me. I never thought I could feel this happy." They leaned against each other, enjoying the calm of the night. Rays and small fish swam gracefully overhead, the gentle hum of the water echoing around them. For Liam and Mia, it wasn't just the beauty of the aquarium that mattered, it was the shared joy, the teamwork, and the love that had grown quietly but steadily between them. As the exhibit opened to the public, visitors were captivated. Many stopped to admire the combination of art and science, unaware that it also told a story of connection and passion behind the scenes. Liam and Mia watched together, smiling, proud not just of their work, but of the bond that had made it possible. One quiet evening, after the crowd had gone, they walked through the main hall, hand in hand. The tanks glowed softly around them, casting reflections that seemed almost magical. Liam stopped near the coral reef exhibit, where it had all begun months ago. "I remember the first time I saw you here," he said softly. "I didn't know then that it would lead to this, to us." Mia smiled, leaning slightly against him. "Neither did I. But I'm glad it did. Every sketch, every observation, every quiet moment, it led us here." They stood together for a while, watching the coral sway and the small fish swim, feeling a sense of peace and completeness. For Liam and Mia, the aquarium had become more than a place of study or art. It was a place of memories, love, and shared dreams, a testament to how two people, drawn together by curiosity and wonder, could create something beautiful together. Finally, as the night grew late, they walked to the exit. Liam held the door open, and Mia looked back at the softly glowing tanks one last time. "This place will always be special," she said. "Yes," Liam agreed, smiling. Not just for the ocean, but for everything it brought us: our friendship, our trust, and our love. As they stepped outside into the quiet night air, hands intertwined, both Liam and Mia knew that their journey had only just begun. The Midnight Aquarium had been the start, the spark that had drawn them together. And now, their hearts were full, ready to explore not only the wonders of the sea but the endless possibilities of life together. In the soft glow of the city lights, they walked away from the aquarium, side by side, knowing that the magic of the ocean and of their love would always guide them.